Okay, so obviously you guys realized that it was a non-breathing, but circulation was present, so it was an artificial respiration type of scenario. They were in a respiratory arrest. You didn't have to do this. They were in respiratory arrest, so you had to do rescue breathing. So the scenario was you would just do your scene survey, get into your primary. They weren't breathing, which means you need to figure out why they're not breathing. So at some point you had to roll them. They had to do supine. One group actually did a quick head to toe, like a quick bleed and squeeze to make sure there wasn't anything else there because they had a couple assistants there. Now if you're by yourself, don't even worry about a bleed and squeeze. Just roll them because there's no way you can stabilize a pelvic fracture if you find one. So quick bleed and squeeze, put them on their back, and then start off with your A's, B's, and C's. Your breaths went in. At that point, you could have put in an OPA. Okay, so you should have tried 2 breaths to make sure it wasn't choking. Okay, because if they're choking, then you go into airway obstruction management. If the breaths go in on the first or second try, then stick in an OPA and then check circulation. Circulation should have been present. For the models, you should have just held your breath, and hopefully the therapist just picked it up without the models having to tell you that they're not breathing. Okay, so it's up to you to figure it out without anybody telling you that they're not breathing. So hopefully the models did a good job holding their breath at this point. Circulation was there, and then you should have verbalized that you're going to do rescue breathing. And we told the models that's when the scenario ends, when you said you were going to start rescue breathing. Okay. Any questions about how to manage that scenario first? Okay, so we took that way back to like EMR, your basic first aid CPR stuff.
So like supine, obviously, over sideline.
Sorry?
You have to move those.
You have to, because you can't do any of this stuff sideline. Okay. The reason why I like throwing these in every so often is because I think we just get hammered into this process and doing the whole thing. And a lot of times people just skip over this thinking it's just going to be there. Okay? But again, the whole point is treat what you find that's in front of you. Okay, don't go into this tunnel vision. We've been talking about abdomen, thorax, and pelvis, and sometimes I think people are like this so much that they just assume nothing else can be wrong. But I think this was a good point, and we were running out of time too, but this was a good way to just go back to treat what's in front of you. Okay? Now obviously we'll do some more scenarios with thorax and abdomen, pelvis, head, face, and neck. But every so often we might throw in one of those, so just be prepared. Okay? Any questions about the stuff we looked at?
Is there a difference between rescue breathing and just like slow oxygen?
What do you, like NRV? Like using an NRV? Yeah. What do they have to be doing with an NRV?
Breathing.
They have to be breathing on their own. If it's too low or too fast, you BVM. And BVM is the same as artificial respiration with the device. Okay. Any other questions? Your guest is here. Here's our guest. Okay, if you have any questions later on, then just email me, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Very good.
I'm not going to be here next week.
Okay.
We're going